Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 19th. We are just going to jump in here, Aquarius, and you start off with this strength and success card. So, I feel like really this is saying that your patience is, or some sort of patience is paying off in your life. That's what I feel like that strength card is saying is, I feel like it's more talking about patience in some area of your life. It could be love, but what I would say here is that having the Four of Wands and the Chariot together can be a very strong commitment energy. And so it doesn't have to be commitment to love. It could just be you committing to a business, or committing to a new career or something like that. So if you are just making a general commitment to something, then I feel this could be the thing that makes you very successful. I even think that, again, just having, going through here now, I feel like some of you could be committing to like routine for your business, or, doing something like, like putting in, it's almost like, I don't know how to say what I want to say. It's like you're putting in a certain amount of work, is kind of what's popping into my head here, especially for those of you in work or business. It's like you're saying to yourself, oh, okay, I'm going to put in this amount of work, and every single day, and I'm going to commit to that. So I kind of feel like maybe you're committing to an action plan or something like that, right? That's kind of like more the vibe I get off of this Four of Wands for whatever reason. I do feel like this could be love as well. You have the, you go from the Four of Wands to the King of Wands. So it definitely could be a fire sign that's coming in for you. I feel like you've been getting a fire sign for, a few weeks for me. Going down to the Two of Wands, it would tell me that, this could be something that's coming in the future, or it's something, I kind of feel like some of you, this could be something that you are sensing is about to enter into your life. So, obviously it might not be here yet, but I feel that you can kind of like almost sense that love is coming in for you. You have the Five of Pentacles and the Chariot. These two kind of like wanted to come out together. And this might be why, well, I think it is why you are kind of taking control and really focusing on committing to something. Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. I feel it looks to me like you could be identifying some sort of pattern in your life that you are bringing to an end. Your last row, the last row is meant to represent the good stuff. You have this never-ending story card. You have the Four of Pentacles. You have the Hermit, which is like a dark night of the soul. He kind of like wanders around till he discovers his inner light. And then you have the Ten of Swords. So again, whatever shows up there, it's going to be good no matter what. But it is kind of interesting how it's popping into my head that you are identifying, some sort of pattern that keeps you here, Five of Pentacles. And I feel like the Chariot is saying that you are kind of deciding to remove yourself from a situation. The Chariot kind of reminds me of, number one, setting yourself apart, but he also kind of reminds me of like putting yourself on some sort of journey. He is leaving that city behind him and he doesn't really know where he's going. He's going on an adventure. And we see adventure in this reading right here to the Knight of Wands. Again, I'm starting a whole new channel about this because, that's how important I think it is. I think the only thing that will be able to set us apart from the robots is basically having our own experiences, right? And being able to have our own stories, being unique. I think our brains crave novelty just in general. So, having novel experiences is kind of going to be like the currency of the future. So, I feel like we need to have more experiences. I feel like we are going to need to do more things that make us kind of stand out in some way. That is, if you want to be successful in the future. And so I see you maybe going on a lot of adventures here. The Ace of Wands is kind of like a card of excitement. The Ace of Wands to me is a card of like the spark of life as well. It kind of represents out with the old. You can see this castle crumbling back here, and it represents in with the new. So, there's clearly a passionate new beginning coming in for you here. I do sense like a little bit of worry going on here in this reading. You do have the nine. I'll show you. You go up to the Nine of Swords here. So there's like something that you could be worrying about at this time, but I kind of feel like it's something temporary. I wouldn't really worry about it. Whatever it is, we'll find out. With the Four of Wands, you have the Nine of Cups. Definitely wish fulfillment coming in for you. So like whatever you're trying to accomplish, I feel the more you can become that thing, the better. We are in a time of where we need to like really bathe in the energy of something that we want. We have to become something else. Like, again, that doesn't mean we have to change, but in some ways it does. Like we don't have to become a different person, but we also we kind of need to become the thing that we want to become, whatever that is. It's like, I think we're all, I see it in the comments, is what I would say. It's kind of funny to me because, I've just noticed the change, and I see a lot of people that are like in my comments that are like, I want to start a YouTube channel. It's like, what should I do? I'm like, well, just create videos. It's like, if you want to be a YouTuber, you have to become a YouTuber. You just have to create videos, right? It's just that simple. I've had people who say, like, I've had a lot of people over the last week that are like, I want to write. I'm like, well, real writers write every single day. So if you're not writing every single day, then you are not a writer. And again, those are just 2 examples. There's a billion examples, It's like, if there are things that you want to do, you have to do that thing in every single day, right? You can't just like sit around and wait. So, and that's like the time that we're in, right? I feel like everybody's waiting for permission to do something, or for someone to tell them to do something, but no one's coming to tell you that you have to do, except for me, right? I will tell you, get your ass moving, plain and simple, right? With the 5 of Pentacles and the Chariot, you have the 6 of Pentacles, balance. I feel like you want more balance with this 6 of Pentacles. Like, that's how it's popping into my head. 6 of Pentacles, card of planting seeds. It is a card of getting started. It basically says, if you want to start a YouTube channel, start planting seeds, start creating YouTube videos, whatever works, pay attention to what works, and pay attention to what doesn't, and double down on what works. It's just that simple. And that's what I feel like you need to do here. With the Ace of Wands, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, I definitely feel you need to see something going this way. The High Priestess, she is kind of like ignoring, she normally has that tapestry behind her, and it kind of says that she is shutting out the world. She is in her own world, maybe. There's like some good parts of that, right? Maybe you need to shut out the world. Maybe you need some time for yourself, but there are some bad parts to that as well. Maybe there are certain things that you need to pay attention to. And I kind of get both. You have the 6 of Pentacles, and, the 6 of Pentacles is a card of balance, but I'm getting like super balance in your reading. It just seems more highlighted, the energy in this reading. So, I would balance things out here, Aquarius. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this Dolphin Spirit, says this and that are true. You have this Brown Bear, it says take time out. So again, I feel like you need balance in the sense that you do need some time for yourself, but I also feel, and maybe to shut out the outside world where you can just think, but I also feel you need time, other times. But you have this and that are true card. I mean, this is like literally the card of the century right here, the Dolphin Spirit. We are in a time where it's like this and that are true. We're literally, I believe that maybe over the next 20 years, we're going to see like, 2 different societies, basically, that rise up. It's going to be more, maybe in some ways there will be more polarization than ever. I think this scares people, right? But I don't really feel that it's that scary. I just think that there are going to be kind of like 2 different worlds, and it's going to be more noticeable. Like, so again, pick the world that you want to live in. Do you want to live in like fear, anxiety, depression, or positivity, happiness, light, all the good things? And, I would pay attention to that with the this and that are true card. You have the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Magician. Again, I feel like everything that we want, I said this in 2020, that everything we want is on the other side of something we've never done before. And, that's what I'd be doing here, especially for you, Aquarius. With Pluto going into your sign next year, or into this year, whatever. I would be kind of looking for new experiences. I would be collecting stories, just stories that you can tell, things that you can do, or, experiences that you can have. And that's what I'd be focusing on with the Knight of Wands. It literally could like make you wealthy, successful. All those things are popping into my head. You have the King of Wands here. Could be love. I wouldn't really call this a love reading. I mean, you can just look around. There's not much here except for the 4 of Wands, really, that would represent love. I feel like maybe this week you're a little bit more focused on yourself, which is probably a good thing. And, with the King of Wands, though, I do feel there could be like a fire sign coming in for you. That could be someone who's very bold, assertive, someone who really goes for what they want. And I do feel that could be coming in for you. But, the interesting thing is both the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, they have these salamanders on their cloaks. And salamanders represent protection from fire. So it basically says, you are protected from risk, at this time. And with the Magician here, I definitely feel there are some risks that you could take. The Magician, he has, well, number one, it's the risk of reinvention, right? He has this snake eating its own tail right here, which is the Ouroboros, which just represents reinventing yourself. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be kind of reinventing yourself at this time, or going through a reinvention in your life. And, again, I feel like this is a good thing, not a bad thing. I would, kind of embrace the reinvention. That's really all I'm getting there. Let's clarify this and see where it's going. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles, two nines. Two nines to me is newness, and there could just be something new in your life. You actually have three nines right here. So, I definitely feel there could be some sort of new beginning or, a fresh start coming in for you here in some area of your life. Nine of Pentacles, of course, card of independence as well. With the King of Wands, you have the Knight of Swords. I would be careful of rushing energy, anything that enters into your life that feels urgent, or especially, Knight of Swords is kind of like my used car salesman kind of card, someone rushing into your life, forcing you or trying to be pushy. So I would be careful of any people who are pushy or trying to be pushy. I'd be careful of that energy basically. With the Magician, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, card of conviction. It says when you know that something will be successful, then it will be successful. So you really have to commit to things in your head with the Seven of Wands. You also have to take action. And I definitely get that here in your reading, that taking action is going to be very important for you. Next, you have this card that says, don't worry so much about not finding love. It will find you. You have this card that says, it's okay to be different. Don't try so hard to fit in. Yes, don't worry about, fitting in here. I also feel like you need to stop worrying about love if you are looking for love. It's kind of funny. I didn't even see that card. And, I really don't feel like this is a love reading, but maybe that's why, because maybe the reading is trying to say hey, don't think about love because you should be focused on other things. And when you focus on other things, love will come in. Definitely a time to be unique at this time as well. We have Neptune moving into Aries officially in 2026. And what I would say with Neptune and Aries is my concern with Neptune and Aries is it's cult-like behavior, Neptune and Aries. I think we'll probably see new cults, spring up during Neptune and Aries and things like that. People are, basically looking for a savior. But really the whole point is that we have to learn to save ourselves. So, I would say kind of don't be afraid to be unique. Don't be afraid to not follow the crowd. Don't be afraid to go against the crowd, all that other stuff, right? You have the Nine of Swords, the Death card, and the Two of Wands. Two of Wands about taking control and kind of making things happen. He's got this wand behind him, which says something from the past is complete. He's reaching forward to this new wand. He's got the whole world in his hands. So he has to take the lead in his own life, and he has to get out into the world. He has to leave this comfort zone that he's in at the top of the castle as well. So, everybody gets this. I've been saying to everyone for 2 years that we have to leave comfort zones. We might have to do things that are uncomfortable as well. So, but not in a bad way, in a good way is what I would say. So don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. You have the Death card, definitely a big change coming in for you. I mean, again, on that Magician, I'm just getting kind of reinvention energy. I do feel like you are very focused on happiness. It's kind of this overarching energy here in this reading about something about your own happiness, but, again, to me, happiness is the result of achievement, but it's also, we get happiness through the journey, the path that we're on. So, I feel for a lot of you, you could be more adventurous or looking to adventure more. You could be looking to go on more journeys. This could be literally traveling, or it could be just mental journeys, whatever. But I feel like you're entering into a sun period. The two pillars from the moon show up right there, and the sun is coming up between those two pillars. You have the Nine of Swords. I feel like there's some sort of part of your story that needs to change. I feel like this is true for everyone. We have a lot of energy in Taurus, and just intuitively, I feel this energy in Taurus is really encouraging people to change their story, or to change parts of their story that hold them back. And I also feel that we have to end any situations that have been repeating in our life, and, I feel like that's what the Nine of Swords says. Nine of Swords basically is a round-around situation. You have this never-ending story card showing up at the end as well. So, there's definitely something that has to come to an end. With the Nine of Swords, you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a permanent energy. I feel like you are looking for permanent positive change with the King of Pentacles. So, I kind of feel like this is something you're seeking. For others, for a lot of you, I feel like you're improving your finances. But, again, it might be a little slow. Although I do feel like you're doing it, and, that's the good part. With the Death card, you have the Four of Wands again. Definitely could be marriage. Some of you, this could be a separation, though, if you're going through a separation or something like that. But the Ten of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. So, again, you might be going through a separation, but, it could be a blessing in disguise or something like that, right? With the Two of Wands, you have the Justice card. We were talking about balance. I knew the Justice card was going to come up because there's something here with that Six of Pentacles at the beginning that really is kind of like screaming at me. It's like literally looking at this card. It's like glowing off the table in my head. So I feel like for a lot of you, everything for you right now should be about balance, and doing things in balance is what I would say there. Next, you have in the area of the good stuff, you have this never-ending story card and this imagine card. So again, this is going to be good no matter what. And I feel for a lot of you, you could be ending a never-ending story, some sort of cycle. I kind of, she's sitting on that clock thing, the sand timer. And I feel for some of you, maybe you feel like time is running out, or maybe you feel like it's too late to make a change, but I don't think it is. That Imagine card is about bringing some sort of dream down to earth. I mean, do I need to say it, Aquarius? I am shocked that you don't have the Seven of Cups in this reading. You've had the Seven of Cups with me for like 2 years now, 3 years maybe, every single reading I do. And I'm always saying to you, you need to bring something down to earth. I mean, I literally feel your job is to kind of create your own reality right now and manifest something that you desire. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Ten of Swords. So again, I feel like you could be letting go of something you've been holding on to for a very long period of time. I'm getting the word like false sense of security. And, I feel like the universe has been showing you things about how like something really isn't as secure as you think it is, I'll tell you something. I'm part of this business group, and there's someone in this business group. I don't want to give too much away just in case these people watch, but basically there's someone who, I've just noticed has been very successful for years in their business, but they basically posted in this group that they're like about to go bankrupt, right? And, it was like, it shocked me. Aquarius, because it's like, on the outside, everything looks great, and, it's like one of those things that kind of was like, wow, I was like, damn, the universe is trying to tell me something here, right? So it kind of like made me think about some things in my own business, and, just based off what they were going through and everything like that. And it was like one of those moments where I really felt the universe was like saying like, hey, pay attention to this because, you never know, right? And, so I get that for you, where it's like there could be some moments, I don't know, it's popping into my head on this card, where it's like there could be some moments that are kind of like shocking, where it's like maybe you see someone you look up to and you realize that they're like failing or something like that. Not a criticism either. We've all, we all go through it at some point in our life, right? But I think it's more to wake you up, and I hope that makes sense. It's like, it really woke me up for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes I just think I have those moments. Normally I probably wouldn't even, bat an eye at a situation like that. But for some reason, it really kind of, I don't want to say tugged at my heartstrings yesterday, but it just kind of, it was just like a shock to my system, because it's like, I had looked up to this person, and it's not that I think any less of this person or anything like that either, I still think they're, like I said, we all go through this. We all have these things in life, but it's just like, one of those things where I was like, damn, like, if that can happen to them, like it could happen to me, right? You have the Hermit card. So again, I feel like you've been on this long journey. I feel like you've been kind of like searching for, something. You've been searching for the light is what I'm getting here, Aquarius, and I feel like you are finding it. You have the Ten of Swords, so I feel like you're kind of bringing something to an end here. Some sort of round-around situation. And again, I feel like it's showing up in the good stuff. So I would say this is going to be a blessing in disguise with the Ten of Swords. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores, letting go of something here. It's funny, I knew I needed to tell that story because, it caused me to shed some things, this story that happened yesterday, without giving too much away. But what I would say here is that, it's like sometimes I think that we can add too many things on to our business that we need to get rid of because they're just a burden, right? And things like that. But I feel like you could be looking at things in your life that are really just anchors, right? This person, just looking at their story, they had a bunch of things that were anchors that were holding them in place, that they kind of, and they weren't flexible enough, right? So, I feel like for a lot of you, that's what's going on here. Is you're becoming more flexible, which is a good thing. With the Hermit, you have the Two of Cups. Something going on behind the scenes in your love life. Again, I wouldn't even focus on love if I were you. That doesn't, and guess what? That's a good thing. That doesn't mean you won't have it. Again, I always tell a story. It's like, I've read for so many people over the years where it's like, they go through this horrible like a really horrible breakup, one that really hurts, right? Not just like a regular one, but like a bad one, and their money improves. And I'm always like, why do you think your money improved? It's because you're not thinking about it, because you're in so much pain from this breakup. You've completely removed your focus from your money, and so you're opening up the energy, right? And I kind of get that here, the opposite. It's like, instead of, focusing on love, maybe it would just be better to focus on business or your health or other things that matter, because then, since you're not focusing on it, you're removing the energy and you're opening up the floodgates to allow something in. And I feel like that's what this Two of Cups, I feel like the whole reading is talking about this. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Four of Cups. I love this Four of Cups. This is from the White Sage Tarot, and you can see that those 3 cups are pouring into this 1 cup here. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be attracting a very fulfilling situation into your life. I feel like flexibility is the name of the game for you here. Becoming more flexible, not making sure that you don't have too many like anchors, things that are kind of holding you down and stuff like that. But we're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this dragon. It says, beware of self-delusion. And, I feel like we all need to be aware of, like, self-delusion at this time. I mean, again, telling that story, it's like, I'm sure I could see how that person maybe bought into some of the, all the people saying how successful they were and, like, all this other stuff, right? So that's, like, why we need to, be aware of this stuff. And again, it's definitely something that, kind of popped up in my head when I read this story. So, I would be careful of, like, thinking that you're too big, right? You have this shark. It says, take care or there will be loss of material wealth. Again, I would definitely, I mean, I feel like this is true for everyone. I think we're in a time of, an unstable financial time. So, I would just keep an eye on your finances. I don't think we should be paranoid about it. I just think we shouldn't go crazy, right? You have this spear. It says, heartache over what you no longer have. Again, I think a lot of people are going through this because it's like, where you're like developing a new identity almost. You have the Magician here. And we were talking about reinvention. So it's like there are some things, 6 of Swords, the woman and the child in that boat, they're bringing nothing but the clothing on their back across the choppy waters. So it's like there are just some things that can't come with you, and that's okay. It might be heartbreaking, but you'll discover new things on the other side. You have this November card and this Teapot card. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Some of you could have met someone in the month of November, or I feel like there could be a person who's born in the month of November. I do feel like they'll be important. Finally, you have this fan. It says romance, celebration, party. Yeah, again, I would, if you're looking for love, I would socialize. This is like needing to go to a celebration or a party to find love. But pretty deep reading here, Aquarius, I have to say. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.